Crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin daily RSI hits 4-month lows with Bitcoin price still up 70%. Also, I'll be sharing the latest with Adam Back suggesting how MicroStrategy should complete their 1% of the circulating Bitcoin supply. Also, breaking news, Argentine President Javier Milei to allow provinces to circulate their own currencies. And guess what? Milei is heading to the World Economic Forum event happening in Davos. And when asked about it, he shared to plant the ideas of freedom in a forum that is contaminated by the 2030 socialist agenda. Also in today's show, the SEC chairman Gary Gensler sees an irony in the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. He says this was all about centralization. We'll also be discussing Balaji equating the Bitcoin ETF move to the reversal of FDR's historic gold seizure. We'll also be discussing FundStrat's Thomas Lee says $150 trillion in the U.S. household wealth can boost Bitcoin via the new ETFs. Also be breaking down his latest six-figure Bitcoin price target and timeline. Also quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, the only Bitcoin measure that matters, the only one I track, just hit another all-time high in its 15-year bull market run. The hash-adjusted price of Bitcoin is now approximately $460,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What it do? Happy January 16th, 2024. Bitcoin halving 3 months away. Let the countdown begin. Shout out to everyone in that live chat. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. I greatly appreciate it. Bitcoin is back on the move, which is a beautiful thing to see the market back in the green, hovering at roughly 43,200 at the time of the live stream. What up, Jordan? Fairground Fun Fairs UK, Jennifer. Good to see the family. Chili's is up 20% today. That's what's up. Pump it up. Let's go, Dirty Bird. Welcome, fam. 50 G's by Friday. Let's go. Send it, Miles. Good to see you, family. What up, JV? Shout out to Mario Sosa. What it do? JV, help me. I've invested in Coinbase and try to invest more, and they won't let me. I'd say if you're having continued problems with any exchange, find another one. The good news, the silver lining, they're not the only game in town. So for example, if you're in the United States, you can check out Gemini, you can check out Kraken, you can check out the Cash App, you can check out Strike, you can check out Swan. These are all alternatives to purchase some Bitcoin. Loud and clear. Good to note, family. Welcome, Brian Bowden. Yes, I can't stand the exchanges when they give you a hard time. So just find another exchange. I don't know what's causing it. Most people don't have any issues using Coinbase. Like, for example, if anyone here is successfully able to purchase Bitcoin on Coinbase, put a 1 in the chat. If you're unsuccessful and you can't and you're experiencing problems, put a 2 and just want to see the consensus right now. Let me know. Binance rejected me. Coinbase put a 0 limit on the account and Kraken closed my account. Good Lord. Are they making it as difficult as possible, it seems, to acquire Bitcoin? Not shocked. I need that hat and Nipsey. I got Bitcoin for you. That's what's up. Send some bits to Nips. Let's do it. What exchange do you use, JB? I would typically use Coinbase when I am using an exchange to purchase some Bitcoin or to make a trade. Yeah, I mean, I've never had any problems. I've been using Coinbase probably since, I don't know, 2018-ish. Don't use Coinbase. 1-1. Axel put a 1. Rock put a 1. Thomas put a 1. Lane put a 1. So many of you guys have no problem. Some of you put some random numbers. 2 from Foxbase. Good to note. Just DCA'd today on Coinbase, says Mark. Good to note. Too much KYC. Yeah, every online exchange is going to require KYC, unfortunately, because that's how the regulators control the on-ramps and the off-ramps, because they can't control self-custody itself. And then they probably sell your information to other third parties, I would imagine. I am serious, bro. I'm trying so hard because I want to get some more. I would recommend, family, open up in an exchange, every exchange you can, and see which one wants to do business with you. I wouldn't be begging those making it too challenging for you to purchase Bitcoin. Just find another game in town. There are a lot of alternatives out there, family. I highly recommend checking out Cash App, Swan, and Strike, because those platforms are Bitcoin exclusively. So you should be okay. Stress-free VIP, what it do? Smash that like. Thank you, Fairground Sandman. Put a 1 using Coinbase. Coinbase randomly froze my account. Wow. Did they provide any explanation for why they froze your account? I'd love to know. They don't control peer-to-peer swaps. There you go, Joey. So how would one go about a peer-to-peer swap? You'd have to find someone you trust, and that can be challenging. You know what I mean? The reason we use the exchanges is because we assume we can trust the exchange. So let me know how you would go about a peer-to-peer swap, family, because I probably wouldn't recommend that to any newbies, because you're probably going to find a scammer to take your money and not give you the crypto, I would assume. I own my Bitcoin on Robinhood, easy peasy. Good to note. So you're saying it's easy to purchase Bitcoin on Robinhood. Now, just to confirm, does Robinhood let you move it from the Robinhood wallet to an external wallet, such as a cold storage wallet? Let me know, because there's been some controversy with that. Bitcoin's pumping. You know, when JV goes live, we pump. Trust me, back in the day, I knew it had issues with Robinhood, but never any issues with Coinbase. I don't understand what's going on, says Jordan. And does customer support even get back to you? Let me know. Not a Max shield. Dude, lied to me live. I never said not a Max shill, family. You actually pointed out Alex Jones, and you said I've been shilling Alex Jones for years, and I corrected you, and I didn't start actually mentioning Alex Jones's name until about a week ago on the stream. So I never said I don't shill Max Keiser, because I've been promoting Max since I learned about Max back in 2018 via the Keiser report. So don't put words in my mouth, because that's not true. I love Max. I love what he represents. He is a Bitcoin maxi. He is, as my opinion, is the most trustworthy person in the space, because he calls out the fraud. He's been calling out the Jamie Dimons, the corrupt central banking cartels, the Christine Lagardes, the, what's her name? Binance. Yeah, that lady too, Janet Yellen. He's been calling them all out, you know what I mean? And I recognize his true intent to expose corruption and also promote Bitcoin for what it truly is, in which he has been doing since 2011 via the Keiser report, back when Bitcoin was less than $10 per coin. So some of you guys don't like Max. So be it. You don't need to tune into my channel, because we cover a piece of Max virtually in every show, because I love his insights and I find them very valuable. And so I pass them along to you guys. Just FYI. However, it's a 2-hour stream, so it's not like it's 2 hours of Max Keiser. It's typically about 10 minutes. So keep that in mind as well. Just want to keep it real. Yeah, Max and Michael Saylor are my two go-tos. My favorite Bitcoin maxis ever. Just saying. JB, when are we going to hit 220? Real easy to make predictions without a timeline. 220. What's the pump? 2021, 2023, now 2024. Here's the real deal, Megadon. No one has a crystal ball. No influencer has a crystal ball. No podcaster is Nostradamus. So everything you hear, you got to take with a grain of salt, right? You can choose who you want to listen to. I choose to listen to the bulls. I don't listen to the bears. To me, bears don't even exist. So take that for what it's worth. I believe Bitcoin will hit $460,000 when? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I can make up a date to satisfy you. I could be like, yo, by this XYZ date, Bitcoin's going to do XYZ. But the reality is, I don't know when it's going to happen. And I will keep it 100 with you. But I firmly believe it will one day happen. Look at the trajectory of Bitcoin. Bitcoin now up over 20 million% in the past 13 years. You got Nipsey in the background celebrating. Give me some more sats. Give me some more sats. Pause in the air. And they stay there. So you already know, family. So it is what it is. 50 thou by my B-Day. Jennifer's calling it February 2nd, 2-2. Divine numbers right there. Max is a real hero. Amen. I second that. He's the real deal. Stress-free VIP, what it do? There's time to be a bear, but that time ain't now. Yes, you had your chances, bears. That was like 2022, 2023, but it's a new year, family, 2024. Yeah, one day it'll all matter. Just a reminder, XRP, $3.30 to 58 cents, 81% losses. Joey, still going for one Bitcoin. The God candle will slow down my progress. We will be discussing the God candle later on in the show as well. Max is the high priest for a reason. Preach, Hayden Armstrong. I'm with you on that. I opened a second exchange. I couldn't send because I almost got scammed the other year. Don't know what I was thinking. What exchange was that on, family? OC data, TA looks goodish. Hash record high. Derivatives look good. Nothing to cry about. There you go. No woman, no cry. Rest in peace, Bob Marley. February 14th, big dump. Is that on Valentine's Day? So are you anticipating a Valentine's massacre? It's bear hunting season. Tell him, Barek. All bull here. Keep an eye on the hash rate. 100K by May 19, 2024. Unlimited pizza for everyone soon. Blessings, JV. Love Jesus. And then Bitcoin blessings. Blessings, John 3:16. What's good from Hollywood, California? What's poppin', David? Good to see ya. What it do? Few bears. Pew, pew. Team Max and JV, both OGs of the Bitcoin space. I don't accept that. I'm not an OG. I didn't get started in Bitcoin until 2017. Max got started in 2011. So anyone who started before the 2012 halving, I consider a true OG. That would be Max, Andreas Antonopoulos, and there's a big list of the Maxis. I'm just a wannabe OG. JV, love everything. Appreciate that, Jordan. Can't wait till over-the-counter Bitcoin is gone and we can meet the hash-adjusted price, 480,000. Send it. That's right, because the reality is the hash rate hit a new all-time high this morning yet again. So that's not even calculated yet. So I think 480 is more like it, squirrel bait. I appreciate that. But yeah, Max the other day when we hit the all-time high hash rate, he said it signifies the 460,000 price action, which is the topic of today's show. ETH gas fees for real, $74 per transfer. Vitalik, get your ish together, guy. Bakersfield, California, tuning in live. Appreciate that. Keiser, Sailor, Annapolis, the Holy Trinity. Amen to that, Crypto Dad. Can't stop, won't stop, like Diddy in the 90s. What up, Greavy Sav? Good to see you, family. But anyways, we got a lot to cover, so without further ado, if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Also, be sure to smash the like and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. It's important and helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Today is January 16th, 2024, podcast episode number 1524, and I'm your host, JV. Let's get this show popping, shall we? Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see here on Coin360, we just started pumping immediately when I went live. Interesting how that works, isn't it? Anyways, Bitcoin's up 0.3% on the day, trading at roughly 43,300. We also have Ether in the green, just shy of 2,600. XRP, BNB, Solana, all in the green, while Cardano, OP, Uni, and AVAX are pulling back and in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, we got Bitcoin still up 2% on the month, up over 160% for the past year. We got Ether up 15%, BNB 28%, and Solana leading the pack up over 31%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the crypto market cap is climbing in real time right now at 1.7 trillion with roughly 57 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is 49.8% with the Ether dominance at 18.2%. So the Ether dominance bottomed out at 14.9% maybe 5-6 days ago when we covered it live on the show. And since then, it's been outpacing Bitcoin as the Bitcoin dominance has been pulling back. My question for all of you, how many of you are anticipating 60, maybe even a 70% Bitcoin dominance for this bull run? Let me know your thoughts, family. Or how many of you think we'll just maintain at roughly the 50% level? And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, Chili's leading the pack, up 18%, trading just shy of 11 cents, followed by Clayton, up 14%, trading above 22 cents, followed by Blur, up almost 11%, trading above 71 cents. Below that, Aster, Woo, Sia Coin, Beam, and Phantom. Now, which altcoins, if any, are you most bullish on for this bull run? Let me know in the comments right down below. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective of the overall crypto market. We definitely have more of the alts in the green right now as the market cap continues climbing. Some of the top gainers, Chili's, Clay, and Woo, Dow, Aster, and Blur. And zooming out on the monthly, we got massive gainers, some up still over 100%, including ENS, SUI, SEI up over 200%, HEX 125%, EHEX 130%, and PLS 135%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, yesterday we were back neutral with a 52. Today, right now, we're a 64 back in greed. And last week, we touched the 76 in extreme greed. And last month, a 73 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, where do you feel January is likely to take us? Closing out the month in a couple of weeks, do you think we'll march on up to 50,000. Let me know your honest thoughts. Do you think we're going to pull back? Do you think we'll continue trading sideways into the halving? I'd love to know your insights before we dive into our TA. So here we go. 460. We didn't even hit 50 G's, says Rambo. Chill, Rambocito. Chill, Rambocito. US never audited in over 100 years. Go figure. They need to audit the Fed, eh? I have a Max Keiser quote. Bitcoin is not owned. Bitcoin owns you. Cheers, Serge. Appreciate ya. What up, Hayden? JV, the price pumper. You know how we do. What always gets me is the complaining you see when someone pays a gas fee. If you're going to make thousands in a profit and the fee was 0.01% of the gains you receive, good point there, family. I think ETH ETF will stop the 70% dominance. Do you think we're going to get the ETH ETF this year? Let me know. And Bitcoin continues pumping. 43.3 fam, pump the likes to pump the stream. We should have over 1,000 people here right now. Right now, there's only 500. These are rookie numbers. I know we can do a lot better. Upward siding motion forever. Hey ya, JV. Booyah. Cheers, Adam. To the moon, says Jennifer. Send it. Donnie Noonan. Please refrain from posting links. Sometimes the mods got a mind of their own. How's your daughter? Doing fantastic. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. She's doing well. Upwards, catching people off guard. There you go, Will. You already know. It's going to be slow and then all of a sudden to the moon, predicts Greedy Sav. Let me know if you guys agree with that sentiment. And let's see what Mr. Sailor has to say.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right?
Welcome, Sandman. Welcome, Philip White. Good to see you guys. No ETH ETF is a security. I mean, it is proof of stake. Proof of stake does seem to be a security since they switched their protocol, in my opinion. I mean, how do you think Gary and the SEC will perceive it? I think they're perceiving everything as an unregistered security. I wouldn't be surprised. Good for you, cuz, says Keith. Appreciate you. May Payne. Max Payne, there's no second best. 44K, pump watch party tonight, JV. Very doable. If we start breaking out with that multi-$1,000 gains, I'm very have the itch inside to do a pump watch because I personally love the pump watches. As long as we're pumping, it's a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be doing pump watches all year because Bitcoin's going to continue hitting new highs. We're eventually going to hit price discovery mode, which means eclipsing the current all-time high of 69,000. And that's when things get very exciting. That's when we'll start seeing 100,000 people on the live stream, family. Mark my words, because when we broke out and hit 49,000 or 48, whatever it was, we had several thousand people on the stream and roughly 25,000 viewers. So I can only imagine when we're actually in price discovery mode and we're surpassing ascending 70,000, I'm anticipating hundreds of thousands of people on these streams. Mark my words. Pump it up. Who is the second best, JV? There is no second best. There you go. JV and Española. That's right. We also have the Espanol channel, family. I think it's espanol.cryptonewsalerts.net. We also have a secondary channel for clips, exclusive for clips and shorts, which can be found at clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. And we also have a Rumble channel exclusive for the uncensored version of the show. What it do? Good to see you, Passive. Good to see you, Relaxing, and the rest of the fam. Raul thinks 75% ETH ETF by May. Right on, family. We'll see. I think it's likely coming in the pipeline. I don't know when. I don't have a timeline. But I think the SEC pushed back all of those apps till May. So we'll see. So we will 10x. Bring it. So 10x from here is basically adding a 0 to the end of the price action you see on your screen right now. See where that says 43,300? Well, let's add a 0, which is ultimately 10x. Then we're talking 430,000 per Bitcoin, right in alignment with the hash adjusted price of where it should be right now. Welcome, Steven. What it do, fam? Why are the hex still the what? At 43, I don't understand the question. Relaxing. Doesn't matter to me. It goes up, I buy. Goes down, I buy more. Keep stacking. Sounds like, Tony, you figured out the game. Digitized freedom, says Daddy-O. What up, Chris Minka? You won't see 25% plus Bitcoin price sell-off until the long-term hodlers are at 2.5x profit ratio. That is 86,000 to the 107,000 price range. Send it, Matt. There is no second best. Let's freaking go. Spit the truth. Cheers, Billy Mantra Bronze, I appreciate you. I'm really worried about the latest bull market. It's been the weakest so far, and we only get major news that the cycle starts and ends. We might not even see a new all-time high this go around. I think you're crazy to suggest that, but to each their own. We all have different opinions. The bull market started after we hit the bottom. I think that was actually the end of, was it 2022? We bottomed out at roughly 15,700. Let's not forget, 2023 did not disappoint. 2023 should have been a bearish year with all the shenanigans going on in the industry, you know, the collapse of FTX, all that stuff. But Bitcoin climbed roughly 160% year to date last year. Not too shabby. So just imagine what's going to happen the year of the halving. Do you guys forget what happened last halving in 2020 to 2021? Right? You guys forget what happened in 2016 to 2017 and from 2012 to 2013? Sometimes you guys just need to zoom out and look at the charts and understand where we're truly at. So I am not thinking, oh my God, we're not going to hit an all-time high this bull run. Are you kidding me? The bull run is just getting started. Like the real bull. For me, the real bull is when we hit that price discovery mode and hit a new all-time high. However, like I said, we can also say Bitcoin has been in a 15-year bull run, because you got to zoom out on the charts, and Bitcoin will continue its bull run. Mark my words. When in doubt, zoom out. You already know, family. But anyways, keep pumping the likes to pump the stream. I appreciate it. But let's dive into our Bitcoin TA, aka Astrology for Men. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Here's the latest. Bitcoin is rapidly headed for oversold territory despite still trading above 40 Gs, according to the latest data. As noted by analyst Matthew Hyland, January 14th, Bitcoin's relative strength index, which we call the RSI, hit its lowest level since September this week. That's right. Bitcoin price performance suffered a 15% drop after the launch of the US spot ETFs, and so far has struggled to bounce back. As traders warn of the risk of further downside, the RSI is showing that a reversal may already be near. That's right. Checking out the daily time frames, the classic momentum oscillator dipped to 42.7 out of 100 January 14th, lower than at any point in the last 4 months, and this was confirmed by TradingView. And as you can see here in the Bitcoin one-day chart with the RSI data, the move was not lost on Highland, who uploaded the chart to X, which suggests a hidden bearish divergence playing out with RSI making lower lows while Bitcoin makes higher lows. Quoting the analyst here, Bitcoin daily RSI lower than October lows and at the lowest level since September. The daily RSI is nonetheless not strictly indicative of an imminent return to form for the Bitcoin price strength. Having sunk below the midpoint of 50 out of 100, the metric's next major test could be the barrier to its oversold area at 30 out of 100. Quoting him again, I would like to see the daily RSI go down to oversold for Bitcoin. Now, let me know if you feel it's likely to go down. On the hourly time frames, the RSI pierced the 30 out of 100 line in the sand twice this week, both times recovering and making higher lows in both processes. Now let's discuss another indicator we commonly cover here in the show, which is the Bollinger Bands. Last week, fellow trader Jelly noted that by contrast, a trip back to overbought levels above 70 can often mark the start of the steepest upside on Bitcoin. Quoting the analyst here, when Bitcoin's RSI enters the overbought territory, the real fun happens. Just look at what happened in the past. And as reported December of 2023, the RSI is just one of several key metrics currently on the radar of market participants. And another is the Bollinger Bands, the volatility indicator, the daily chart for which now shows Bitcoin back in volatile mode after a period of constriction. Now, current prices mark a trip to the near bottom of the expanding channel, which has likewise not been truly challenged since mid-September. And here you're looking at the Bitcoin one-day candle chart along with the Bollinger Bands. Now, let me know if you are currently bullish on the King Crypto. And I want to share this as a bonus. Adam Back shared this thread on how MicroStrategy can achieve their goal, short-term goal of owning 1% of the current Bitcoin circulating supply. If you don't know, they currently control roughly 0.9%, and their long-term goal is to control 5% of the Bitcoin supply, which means to acquire 1 million BTC. And for some comparison, Satoshi's wallets are supposed to have roughly 1.1 million. So that would mean MicroStrategy holding as much Bitcoin as Satoshi, just FYI. But anyways, here's what Adam Back tweeted. Speculation about what MicroStrategy and Saylor and the team could, in my opinion, should do. Borrow $2 billion if they can, then buy back 1 billion of MicroStrategy shares while the discount persists and buy 1 billion worth of Bitcoin to get to 210,000 BTC, which would be 1% of the supply, rationale, and the thread. And let me read you the thread. Here you go. Shout out to Adam Back. Here we go. So what I would do is, if I was them, is borrow 2 billion long-term debt if they can, and 1 billion share buybacks to take advantage of the temporary discount and buy 1 billion more BTC, which gets them to 210,000 Bitcoin, 1% of the supply. Probably put the share at $800 plus and the Bitcoin share up 25%. The share buybacks are just to send a message. Buying $2 billion of Bitcoin achieves about the same price and Bitcoin share result. You want people to understand if the market lets it drift from Bitcoin share ranges. They stand ready to buy back and then resume the share selling and Bitcoin buying. So there you have it, family. Let me know when you feel, because I think it's not if, it's when. MicroStrategy will achieve their short-term goal of owning 1% of the circulating Bitcoin supply. They currently own roughly, 200,000 Bitcoin. So to get to 1%, they just need like a little bit more. I think they're right on the cusp of doing that right now. And let me know your thoughts on that strategy from Adam Back. And do you feel they will achieve their long-term strategy, MicroStrategy, owning 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply, which ultimately means hodling roughly 1 million BTC? And by what year do you think that can come true? Let me know, family, and I'll read some more of your comments out loud. Crypto news is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like KRS-One said one time. Yes, shout out to KRS-One, one of my favorite old school MCs of all time. Boogie Down Productions in the building. And also, I always respected and appreciated KRS for dropping truth bombs and gems and using his knowledge to educate people through hip hop, because that's what hip hop is missing in today's day and age. Let me know if you guys agree. One wallet own over half of the supply, says Keith Hunt. Whose wallet are we referring to here, family? I'd love to know if we can get my money in there. Where are you referring to, Jordan? Let me know. I'm just tuning into the chat, so I missed what you guys said prior to this. I can only see what's on the street. Yeah, BDP, Boogie Down Productions. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Classics, bringing back memories. Good stuff, family.
Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more.
Ron and Crash says 2 reasons the ETH ETF gets approved. Let me know those reasons, family. If Bitcoin goes to 430,000, my DCA will have to be 10x for the same sats. And his first DJ, Scott LaRock, rest in peace. I don't think he's still around, right? And I know because KRS-One, rest in peace, Bradley, Raven, cheers, family. Saylor will get to 1 million Bitcoin. One of my favorite KRS lines, I'm not saying I'm number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's probably what you were referencing earlier. I'm just thinking about that track right now. Step into my, yeah, classics. Man, good old memories, family. Thank you. God candle or not, I am still buying more Bitcoin. Boogie Down, My Philosophy, a great track where KRS-One talks about being vegetarian. Oh, that's what's up, Will. I didn't even know he was vegetarian. That's what's up. Out of the 7,100, they won't only let me sell 2,000 on my Bitcoin. They have me strapped and they won't let me buy. This is crazy. That is crazy, family. I don't know what's going on with Coinbase, but I hope you get it resolved, and please do keep us posted, and hopefully you can find some new exchanges. You know what I mean? And hodl what you got, put it in cold storage, and do your thing. It's the same with rock music. No rock stars are coming up with honest music. What happened to all the rock stars? Good question, LFC Liverpool Film Club. I remember, like, I don't know if Nirvana was considered rock, but I remember Kurt Cobain, and I remember like Green Day. Like when I was in like middle school, these were like the popular bands. He died long ago, sadly. He was a very good b-ball player at Calliston Stake, aka Scott Sterling. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, good. I need me a Bitcoin hat. You need to get one. Cheers, Jess, everything. 2 reasons ETH ETFs get approved. Number 1, BlackRock. And number 2, ETH futures exist, which was a big reason SEC lost the Grayscale lawsuit. Good point there, and I agree. I know BlackRock is looking to acquire Ethereum, so they can do so through the ETF as well. Puerto Rico party, May 19th, 100,000 Bitcoin Megadon. Send it. I have problems with Coinbase. I am out. Dang. Coinbase takes 10 business days to release the bank transfer. Wire transfer them the money, you can remove it right away. Yeah, in the past, anytime I made a large Bitcoin purchase, I always did the wire transfer because within 24 hours, it's available to make the purchase and no shenanigans. You know what I mean? There's no waiting or nothing like that. I'm done buying on Coinbase, so they won't let me buy. Man, 50,000 incoming, 100K just before the halving. Send it. Market manipulation using exchanges to the crap out of them. Yeah, man, I think it's all by design because I recall every time Bitcoin breaks out to a new all-time high, the exchanges always crash and it becomes impossible to buy Bitcoin. So that's why I say stack sats now at a discount if you even can, because some people are struggling to even buy Bitcoin now, because I'm telling you, when we hit all-time highs, it's going to be extremely difficult to buy Bitcoin, family. Extremely difficult, just based upon what I've seen in the past. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Buddy Matt, Coinbase limits the amount purchased through your debit card. No limit or hold on wires. There you go. Coinbase always gave me that bad woo-woo feeling. 688 watching, only 168 thumbs up. Man, help the channel out by smashing them thumbs up. Thank you, one Glenn Co. I couldn't have said it better myself. Pump the likes, pump the stream. It helps, and I appreciate the support. Roughly 700 people on the stream now. My goal, we need to have at least 1,000. Otherwise, you're making me look bad here. Do you listen to AB Soul? I don't know that. Is that an artist or is that a genre? Let me know. I'd never heard of them. I still listen to hip hop. Some of my favorite, man, I mean, I have a lot of favorites, so I don't even know where to begin. But oftentimes on Rumble, for the after party, I'll be playing some of my favorite tracks, which are like Bitcoin remixes of some of my favorite classics out there. You know what it is. Growing up, some of my favorite hip hop artists, of course, I think everyone liked Tupac and Biggie, but I also love the Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang was my favorite because they mixed martial arts with hip hop, and I was a martial artist and a hip hop head, and they were the only ones doing it at that level at that time. So RZA was one of my role models as a producer. And of course, Bruce Lee. If you looked in my room in middle school, just Bruce Lee posters and RZA posters all over the walls. And also, what was the magazine where they have the, they feature the hip hop versus, wasn't this, was it The Source? No, there was another, one of those magazines, and I just remember so many artists coming up on that magazine, even Eminem himself. I didn't like Tupac or Biggie, says Joey. For real? Oh, wow. I was a huge fan. Tupac was the most prolific songwriter to ever live. Agreed. And my mascot here, Nipsey, he was actually named after Nipsey Hussle. He passed, so rest in peace, but was also one of my favorite. I love his lyrics and his mindset and all that, what he would preach about Dr. Sebi, big Dr. Sebi fan, rest in peace. In fact, I think it was for last year for Christmas, I bought my mom 1,000-page Dr. Sebi book of all his books compiled into one, but how to heal naturally, you know, things like CANCER and things that they claim there's no cures for. You know what I mean? So this stuff kind of interests me as well. But anyways, let's continue with the show. Kind of catch me off guard here, but I appreciate y'all. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We did our TA, so now let's dive into Javier Milei and what's the latest here. The headline here reads, Argentine president to allow the provinces to circulate their own currencies. But I actually want to read you this quick little thread from Mario. He wrote, Javier Milei heads to the World Economic Forum, and he's asked, what is the purpose of this trip to Davos? As you know, all the elites are heading to Davos right now. And here's what he says in this short little clip. To plant the ideas of freedom in a forum that is contaminated by the 2030 socialist agenda. Do you think Javier Milei is the real deal going up against all of these elites? Or do you think he's just one of them pretending to be someone he is not? I'd love to know your honest thoughts in the comments below. And if you don't know, he is the recent president of Argentine who got elected, who has a pro-Bitcoin stance and anti-establishment. He's the one who had the chainsaw saying we're going to put an end to their central bank, etc. But anyways, Argentine President Milei promised not to oppose provinces' attempts to launch their own currency currencies after the public exchange between Milei and the governor of the province, Ricardo. On January 14, during an interview with Radio MIT, Milei confirmed he would not legally oppose the creation of local currencies by provincial authorities in Argentina. The president believes that the market will ultimately decide on the value of the projects, but he warned that the quasi-currencies will spur up inflation and those accepting them will end up scammed. Quoting him here, those who receive payments in quasi-currencies from irresponsible governors will clearly see a loss of their incomes. What it is not taken from them through budgetary adjustment will be taken from them via inflation in the quasi-currency. Now, I wonder if that quasi-currency is referring to as the US dollar. What do you guys think? Now, quick shout out to Tom Ferris. This is back-to-back days. He now gifted 10 memberships of the channel. Everyone who have just been blessed, Mo Ken, Ronan Crash, looks like Neo Styles, Versi Boer, and Melanie 420X. Happy 420. And congratulations, family. You've all been blessed with the MicroStrategy membership of the channel. So please thank Todd because he gave 5 memberships out yesterday and just gave another 5 memberships out today, which is tremendous. We appreciate you guys always giving and giving and giving. Very humbling. So thank you, family. Back to our story. Now, Quintela, the governor of La Rioja, intends to create separate currency for the province after Milei devalued the Argentine peso by 50% after taking office December 10th of 2023 to tame the soaring inflation in the country, which is at its highest levels in 32 years. The new president also cuts the funds allocated from the federal budget to provinces. Now, calling such measures the abandonment by the nation and citing the necessity of paying salaries to policemen, they requested the legislator to prepare the legal base for minting the local currency. Now, in December of 2023, the governor of Buenos Aires province, Axel, also publicly contemplated the issue of local currency. Meanwhile, in Rosario, Argentina's third most populated city, a local landlord and tenant sealed an agreement for rent to be paid in Bitcoin, which we covered in great detail in yesterday's podcast, family. The contract is the first of its kind in Argentina, made possible by the recent law amendments by the new presidential administration. So there you have it, family. Let me know your thoughts regarding Javier Milei. Do you think he is one to be trusted, or do you think he's just another puppet, aka controlled opposition? Let me know your honest thoughts. Thank you for the correct pronunciation of that city, David. It's called Rioja. Appreciate that. I still struggle with Spanish myself, even though I live in Puerto Rico. I know it's sad. That's what I need. I've been waiting on my money for the frickin' like 2 weeks after I already put my money in the Bitcoin. Are you referring to the Coinbase exchange still, Jordan? Wow, imagine getting paid in Bitcoin. Yeah, imagine being a landlord and your tenant. I'd be the perfect tenant. Hey, just pay me in Bitcoin. Sure thing. Why not? I'd get paid in Bitcoin all day. I mean, who wouldn't? My 30A says puppet. Word. David, let's see what the rest of you guys say. Puppet who wants the Falklands back. What are the Falklands? And enlighten me there. Keep your Bitcoin in cold storage no matter what. Cheers, Todd. Very sage advice. This is drastic, bro. They be doing us wrong. Corey, I've never had a problem on Cash App, but you can get hacked anywhere. That's true. People do get hacked all the time. Phishing scams. So much of an appreciating asset instead of the declining currency to pay rent. Sounds awful. What happened to Max Keiser's 220 Bitcoin? Oh, it's a coming, family. It's a coming. I can't pump ish if I can't put money in the Bitcoin. Controlled opposition, says Joey. So you guys are not fooled. I stopped trusting any politician, George Carlin. Amen. Rest in peace, George Carlin, my favorite comedian growing up. My favorite 2 living right now are going to be Chappelle and Cat Williams. One deceased, unfortunately, George Carlin, but George is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Love George Carlin. The Falklands, yeah, the British needed them for strategic sheep purposes. Biggie forever. Biggie. He only lived a few blocks away. Oh, that's what's up. He lived in East New York, Brooklyn. That's what's up. I'll never forget that freestyle in the streets of Brooklyn. You can still catch it on the tube. He's like, I don't know, he's got to be like 17, 18 years old, just killing it with the bars. The Falkland Islands, part of the UK, but very close to Argentina. Good to know. We had a war over it in the 80s. Oh, wow. So who controls those islands now? Wow. Appreciate the super fam. Cusa dog. KRS-One is one of the best ever. Always banged his stuff in my ride in the late 80s. Man, I grew up listening to him. I had an uncle who was a huge fan. He put me on to KRS, Rakim, and all the legends, and I'm very grateful to that. You know what I mean? Greatness. Appreciate that, family. There's a new George Carlin 1 hour special called I'm Glad I'm Dead, fully generated by AI. Oh, no way. That's crazy. I'm thinking 50,000 end of the week. Bring it. The exchanges are going to start limiting withdrawals to a couple $100s. Get your coins off these exchanges. Amen. Get your Bitcoin off these exchanges. The fact that Bruce Lee was so great with martial arts, his speaking and motivation, intellectual, was out of this world. Amen. Way ahead of his time, Jordan. Bruce Lee was the man. Hey, crypto news. Don't forget to Will Smith the like button. I just tune in. Always glad to catch the live show. Appreciate that, Essential Sales. Much love. Will Smith that like button. No one knows Bitcoin. Bitcoin owns you. There you go. What about Tyler, the creator of the Funk Flex? I remember the Funk Flex mixtapes were off the chart. Some of the freestyles. I used to love cannabis growing up. I'm not talking about the herb. I'm talking about the artist. Can I Bust? He was epic as well. His freestyles were off the chain, like 100 bars. I'll never forget that. Appreciate those supers, family. George Carlin from my hometown in Rochester. That's what's up, Rick B. Be like water, my friend. You put water in the kettle, it becomes the kettle. Now, water can crash or it can flow. Be water, my friend. Yes. Space Oddity, what it do? Chris Cross, word. 3, Baxter, what it do? Offshore safe from the SEC BS control. There you go. Welcome, Cherry. Good to see you, family. David Carradine. I met David Carradine right before he died, family, in California at a charity event. Kid you not. We were at a buffet line at this charity event, and he was in front of me. Crazy, right? Kind of weird and a little mysterious how he died as well. We won't get into that here. Don't think. Feel. It's like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. Amen. Max is a prediction 2020 Bitcoin 225, reality 69 G's, 50 G's. Raven, let's go. Anyways, family, keep pumping the likes. I'm going to sip another sip of this kombucha and we'll dive into our next story.
Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin.
Boom. There you go. But yeah, let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the latest Gary Gensler FUD, everyone's favorite chairman of the SEC. Here we go. Here's the latest. The chairman of the U.S. SEC, Mr. No Hair Gare or No Claire Gare, whatever you call him, discussed the irony of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in an interview with CNBC. The securities regulator approved the 11, as we know, quoting him here. There is an irony in the midst of that. Satoshi Nakamoto said this was going to be a decentralized system, Gensler said, noting that the approval of the spot ETFs has led to centralization. Now, he also shared, think about the irony of those who say this week is historic. This was about centralization and traditional means of finance. He added, investors could already express themselves in Bitcoin. You could already, before this week, buy it through major brokerage houses, but now you can buy it through this thing called an ETF, exchange-traded product, as well. Centralized, he noted. There's a lot of centralization here. Jesus. Now, the securities regulator approved the 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs last week, and although Gensler was the deciding vote approving the 11 funds, the SEC chairman clarified the approval was not an endorsement of Bitcoin. Interesting. Here's what he clarified, quoting him word for word. Bitcoin itself, we did not approve, we did not endorse. This is a product called an exchange-traded product, a way that the investors can invest in that underlying non-security commodity called Bitcoin. Notice he says non-security commodity. Has he said that about any other cryptocurrency? I don't think so, family. But if he has, do let me know. Now, let me actually use my Gary Gensler voice for the next quote from Gary.
Investors should be aware that this underlying asset is highly speculative, volatile asset, and amongst its use cases is really for illicit activity, money laundering, sanctions, ransomware, and the like.
It is a speculative value, store value, he continued. It is being used as a payment, or is it being used as a payment anywhere? Are we buying cups of coffee with it? Not really. The only payment mechanism it's being used for in its primary use or sense is illicit activity. So there you have it. The chairman of the SEC continuing to FUD Bitcoin even after giving the stamp of the approval for 11 ETFs in the United States. Can you say hypocrite? Let me know, fam. And what are your thoughts on Gary? Do you think that guy needs to be replaced? If you'd like to see him replaced, put a 1 in the live stream right now. If you like Gary, think he's doing a fantastic job, and you hope he stays the chairman of the SEC for longer, put a 2 in there. I'm curious. I just got to see this for myself. Guys, check Mobster coin. Is that a real coin? Gensler. White Grinch, the White Grinch. Gary's voice is like that because he used to smoke a lot of crack, says Neo Styles.
Hey, it's just me, Gary Gensler. This is my natural voice, JV. What are you going to do?
Based on my experience, convincing investors over 6-year-old is very hard, which is all these ETPs are trading. 11111. The fact I am buying cups of coffee. There you go. So you just proved Mr. Gensler wrong. 111. Space Oddity, we got a 2, so we do have 1 Gary Gensler fan. Good to note. 11111. Gary is here with a 2. Of course, you're going to put a 2 for yourself. Do you have anything to say, Gary? This is your chance to speak out because most people want to see you fired. I'd say like 98% of the people in the chat don't like the job you're doing here. So if you want to say anything, let me know and I'll read your comment out loud. Can you buy burritos here with Bitcoin over 5 years now? Gary is just mad he didn't buy Bitcoin. Or maybe he is a long-term hodler of Bitcoin and he keeps it on the low. What do you think? DL? 1111. He needs to go after all the ish coins now. I mean, that's his job. He's been doing that kind of with attacking the exchanges like Kraken. Kraken paid a 30 million settlement and then 10 months later, round 2, we're shaking you down again, Kraken. Gensler's a manipulator. Sack Gary Gensler. Hypocrites are offended by the truth, says Christy. Spending your Bitcoin on coffee while keeping your fiat in your wallet. You're doing it wrong, says Joey. Thank God I didn't. Well, what about in this case? What if she has virtually no fiat and she's just living off of Bitcoin? You can't say there's anything wrong with that. I mean, that's what Jack Mallers does. Mallers, you look up his net worth. I think it says somewhere between $10 and $30 million. So some people actually like living off of Bitcoin and not using fiat currency, and I wouldn't knock them for that. I say more power to them because that's the future. His inadequacy is predictable. This is true. 2, he's been so fair so far, guys. Come on, says Cryptolution. Gary, you're fantastic. I love you. So you do got some fans. Wow. I love Gary. Just kidding. Seth, I appreciate you tuning in, fam. Thanks for subbing to the pod. Any commodity can be used for illicit purposes. Ban, was that soybeans? And precisely, just like anything is used for illicit purposes, just like they use the US dollar every day for illicit purposes. You know what I mean? Facts. Love. I appreciate that, Raha. Roxanne, how old is your puppy? So cute. Nipsey is now 4, so he's no longer a puppy, but in my eyes, he's always a puppy. I know you're playing Cryptolution, but it is funny. Gary saves FTX and attacks Binance for covering their money laundering. There you go. He's just part of the connected that don't want regular people to join the wealth party. Exactly. Gary is Satoshi protecting us all from centralization. Gary is just outdated. Transact in crypto, boycott fiat. Love Gary. Would leave him in the desert. Missed the first 45 minutes, but I'm here, JV and Nip. I appreciate you, Frank the Tank Degen. Gary will always be a wiener in my art. Funkmaster Flex, Funk Flex. How do you get the ticket to Funk Flex? Remember when David Letterman did that? I missed that. Was he on David Letterman? Gary definitely got the bag. SBF accepting mackerel for illicit purposes. For those who missed the memo, SBF was now trading fish in prison as a form of currency. And that's no joke. That was a headline a few weeks ago. Can we vote if ETH's market cap overtakes Bitcoin's market cap? Sure. If you think the Ethereum market cap will one day overtake the Bitcoin market cap, put a 1 in the live chat. If you think Bitcoin's market cap will always be superior to Ethereum, meaning higher, then put a 2. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. That's a good question. I Gary'd the like button. Thank you for Garying the like button. We appreciate the Garys on the like button. Am I crazy if I'm still paying my bills but risking all my savings on crypto to find financial freedom? I don't think you're crazy. I think you're awesome. Welcome to the HODL gang. Mackerel, jail food, commodity. Yeah, he would be useful as a paperweight. Polarizer says 1. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. Those are putting 2s in the live chat. Believe Bitcoin market cap will always be higher than Ethereum, and those putting a 1 think Ethereum's market cap will eventually outgrow Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap is probably ballpark 900 billion, just shy of $1 trillion. I'm guessing the Ethereum market cap is maybe 300 billion right now, in that ballpark. So what do you guys think? 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Crazy. It's crazy. I have 3 online stores. I only accept Bitcoin on all 3 sites. No fiat. Let's go. That's what's up. More power to you, family. Nas put a 1. Barack 2. Gone 2. Frank 2. Gui 2. Now people, Saul will flip ETH. If you think Saul will flip Bitcoin and ETH market cap, put a 3. I don't expect anyone to say that, but you never know. Let's see really quick before we dive into our next story. I think Gary has to help his Bitcoin and crypto. 2, neither are going to happen. Oh, my censor button. What the This is some crazy I can censor myself here. I love it. I used to think ETH would flip Bitcoin, but now I think too many competitors are being shilled during the bull market, siphoning funds. To the guy who said he's risking his money into crypto, just make sure to save enough cash for taxes. Use a high yield savings account like the American Express. XRP is number 1, says Zach. ETH can get close, but will never flip BTC, says Julio. I appreciate all the insights, fam. Keep the comments coming, and let's dive into our next story of the day. Discuss the latest with the Bitcoin ETF, BlackRock, and what is happening over here. In fact, Balaji, the former Coinbase CTO, he equates the Bitcoin ETF move to the reversal of FDR's historic gold seizure. I'm going to be breaking this down. This is very informative. In 1935, under President Roosevelt, the U.S. government orchestrated the substantial gold confiscation. Never forget it. Reinforcing state-centric financial control. And in a recent post, Balaji points out this incident as a landmark in the chronicle of centralized financial dominion. He observes that the endorsement of the spot Bitcoin ETF is a radical divergence from this age-old centralized fiscal regime, paving the way for decentralized digital currencies. Quoting him here, since FDR's seizure of gold, our lives have revolved around the centralization state rather than the decentralized market. The state has had control for so long, we have forgotten what freedom is like. Preach. But now gold is slipping out of their hands and back into yours, and history is running in reverse. Now, he also emphasized the role of technological advancements in the shift. Unlike the previous century, where tech, like mass media, favored centralization, today's innovations, personal computers, end-to-end encryption, mobile tech, and notably cryptocurrencies, champion decentralization. Take that, Mr. Gensler. This technological transformation plays a crucial role in redistributing financial authority from central institutions to individual entities and decentralized systems. Quoting him again, thus top talent isn't being pulled into a government brain trust, he asserts. It is being brain drained out of the U.S. establishment, and as a consequence, the epic legal battles are, on balance, going our way. Now, he also reflects on the legal conflicts and the changing dynamics within the institutions, pointing to a steady move towards decentralization. The ratification of the spot Bitcoin ETF, decided by a narrow 3-2 vote, exemplifies this evolution. It represents a legal recognition of the escalating impact and legitimacy of decentralized finance, signifying a significant shift in the institutional viewpoint towards cryptocurrencies. And at the heart of his argument is the notion of liberty, one of my favorite words, freedom and liberty, and sovereignty. He contends that Bitcoin and similar technologies symbolize more than mere financial instruments. They are part of a larger crusade for global freedom. Now, the apprehension of traditional establishments, he notes, stems not just from the challenge of regulating a novel monetary system, but from the fear of losing grip over a worldwide framework that is increasingly eluding their regulatory purview. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Balaji. Now, very, very complicated, says Press Start Gaming. Now, considering that the government has seized all the gold back in the 1933 Gold Seizure Act, do you think potentially they can have a trick up their sleeve to eventually seize all the Bitcoin ETF BTC in the name of national security, as Max has been blowing the whistle on? Let me know your honest thoughts, family. Would you smack Gary Gensler for one Bitcoin? Honestly, I wouldn't, because I'd obviously end up in jail with a massive lawsuit. So we can't use violence. But in a joking way, I think we'd all love to smack him metaphorically, just keeping it 100. Violence is so old school. We don't want to use violence because there's consequences for doing so. It's just the way it is, family. Fiat, something that devalues every minute of the day. Amen. Bro, one world currency, new world order. Oh, hell no. Screw them and their old world order. Bitcoin is decentralized, and it's ultimately a monkey wrench in their plans. Stop supporting the establishment. Stop selling your Bitcoins. High-low, hold the damn line. 21 million, and we're at 19 mil, so close. Cheers to that, Nola. I appreciate your sentiment there, family. Not worthy. It may be for one Doge. Oh, no. I'm sure they have many tricks up their sleeve. They have long arms. That's right. Definitely don't trust them. Taser, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Taser him. Gary is too skinny to get slapped. He can't be out here killing people. Keith Bitboy. I'm sure they have too many tricks. Hello, fam. Welcome, Mr. Bone Daddy. What's good, family? Yeah. What up, JJ? Welcome to the stream, family. We still got a couple of more stories to share before we dump or dive into our Q&A. We're still maintaining 43,100. We're still in the green. Soon supply shock. Tell them, Brian, we currently got less than 2 million biddies available on the exchanges, and you already know how fast they're going to go. So hold, hodl, hodl.
And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years.
Congratulations, Body Delight, on stacking more sats last night. 9,500 more Bitcoin. Happy birthday, family.
And you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Hard money not to be what with? Yeah, let me say that properly. Crazy. Crypto son, who do I trust? BTC. First rule of Bitcoin, never sell. You got that right, Christy. 50,000 income it. Send it, Jennifer. And we'll go to our next story with that sentiment. Let's discuss $150,000 target from Fundstrat's Thomas Lee and share what he has to say. And then we'll be breaking down the latest hash rate adjusted price of Bitcoin, which should be at 460,000 per coin right now, according to Max Keiser, along with his latest insights and tweets and all that fun stuff. So here we go. Fundstrat's Tom Lee says 150 trillion in U.S. household wealth can boost Bitcoin via the new ETFs. Now that's a lot of money. Now, BlackRock themselves control 10 trillion in assets under management. Vanguard is probably 8 trillion. And I heard Fidelity is 4.5 trillion. So with some big bucks coming into Bitcoin. Fundstrat's managing partner, Mr. Lee, believes Bitcoin could benefit immensely from the new market following the introduction of the spot Bitcoin ETFs to the world's largest economy. In a new interview on CNBC, Lee says the spot ETFs will make a huge difference in the market cap of the leading digital asset, as it enables U.S. households to get exposure to Bitcoin in a convenient and safe process. And according to the Fundstrat executive, just a tiny portion of the U.S. household wealth allocated to Bitcoin will be more than double the value of BTC, as he shares here. Instead of having to go to an exchange and then worry about your private keys, many investors can now use traditional financial markets to access Bitcoin. There's $150 trillion of household net worth just in the United States. That's a lot of money. Now, allocating just 1% of that U.S. household wealth into crypto could be $1.5 trillion worth of inflows. That's already more than Bitcoin's entire network value. That's right. The entire Bitcoin market cap right now is probably roughly 900 billion. So this is like 1.5x. So I think there's tremendous potential, and I think it is really important diversification for a lot of folks that have exposure to US dollar assets in equities or bonds. And you know, Bitcoin is really a good hedge against a lot of monetary risks. That's right. It's also a hedge against inflation, deflation, confiscation. It's insurance policy. It's a hedge against corrupt government. It's a hedge against virtually all the woes in the world we're worried about with wealth, because never in human history has there existed a form of money with a finite, limited supply that they can't print or create more of. And the same with gold and precious metals. Every year they introduce more gold into the overall supply, and they will continue to do that and manipulating the markets, which they're very good at. Now, last week, Lee predicted the Bitcoin could exceed the price of 100,000 per coin and hit as high as 150,000 per Bitcoin before the end of this year. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment. Quoting him here, I think in the next 12 months, something over 100,000, maybe 150,000 per Bitcoin. And in the next 5 years, there is a finite supply. And now we have a potentially huge increase in demand with the spot Bitcoin ETF approval. So I think in 5 years, which would take us to the year 2029, something around 500,000 per coin would be potentially achievable. Now I feel that's an easy target. You know, Cathie Wood is predicting a base case of like 670,000, but her bull case is anywhere from 1 million to 1.5 million by the year 2030. Let me know your thoughts on that prediction, and to watch Thomas Lee's prediction here, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now, before we dive into our feature story of the day, we're going to read some more comments, and Bitcoin is pumping right now. So pump the likes to help pump the stream. Let's see if we can get above 44,000, family. Paper Bitcoin is ish. That's right. And paper Bitcoin is an example of what you get when you purchase a Bitcoin ETF, because you get a digital IOU version of that. And guess who holds it? Coinbase, if you're using, for example, BlackRock with your ETF, as they're the custodian for the majority of the asset managers. Not your keys, not your coins. I think we all know that lesson by now. Do a super sticker, Bone Daddy, and ask him, what's up? What's the question? Digital dankness. Let me see here. Shout out to Bring Facts. Good to see you, family. Always a pleasure. Did I miss a good question in here? Do you have the ability to unblock people? It's possible. It's a pain in the ass, but I know there's a way, because I think in my YouTube settings, there's probably a list of a bunch of blocked people over the years, and it may be possible to unblock them. I've never been able to unblock anyone, though. It's easier to just create a new account. So, yeah, I mean, they are buying OTC. Cathie is the queen. Shout out Cathie Wood. I know you broskies go crazy over her. Cathie thinks that her bull case is becoming more likely. 100%. Since the approval of the ETF, she went on the news and shared that. And they actually recently asked Mr. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, what are your thoughts on Cathie Wood's prediction that Bitcoin could hit 600,000, 1 million, or even 1.5 million per coin? And his response, oh, I don't even think about the Bitcoin price. Sure, Larry. Whatever you say, Larry. I thought that was hilarious. I shared that on X the other day. It was going viral. Shout out to Dave Irwin. I appreciate you subbing to #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. We now have over 800 people on the stream. We're getting very close to JV's goal today of over 1,000, but we can achieve it if you all just smash the like, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. If everyone pumps up the like and drops a comment, more eyeballs will come on the stream, and bada boom, bada bing, we'll hit our target. Just trying to understand, if the Saudis were to invest $500 billion, what's the point of waiting? I am just going to cost them more. No, that's actually a great point. Game theory is in full effect right now. You have the MicroStrategies, you have the BlackRocks, the Abigail Johnsons, the Fidelities, all these asset managers. You have countries, El Salvador, nation states. You have other countries looking to adopt Bitcoin. So you have potentially Qatar, $500 billion sovereign wealth fund looking to convert into Bitcoin. So the people who do it sooner than later are going to have a hell of a lot more Bitcoin. That's just common sense. There's a very limited supply out there, family. What does OTC dry up? I have no clue. When does it dry up? And can they do OTC directly, not only from the exchanges, they can do that directly through the miners, because that's going directly to the source, right? The miners are the ones creating the Bitcoin through their computational power. Mohammed, where you at, family? Call your cousins. Do what we got to do here. BlackRock ETF, ain't nobody got time for that. Tell them, Christy. We want the real thing over here.
Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset.
There's no second best. Yes, Phil, exactly. Tony Whalen is homeless. Got it. Who's Tony Whalen? Facts. Baller Bill, what it do? Fildies, these analysts are just blabbering. They don't know ish. Whalen Moonboys bought in 2012 and are good. Your logic sucks. Keep on selling as soon as I can. 50,000 Bitcoin versus 60 G's Bitcoin means nothing. Qatar. I mean, good point there. Bigger picture, we all know Bitcoin's going to go where it's destined, which is the moon, which I would consider $1 million plus. Sailor says we can see $100 million Bitcoin. Who am I to question the Giga Chad? What up, Strivia? I appreciate you subbing to the One Daily Bitcoin Pod. JV, buy Bitcoin and chill. My sentiment exactly. There is no second best. But anyways, family, now let's dive into our featured story of the day. And let's discuss Bitcoin hitting $460,000 per coin, which is the true hash adjusted price right now, according to the hash rate, which continues to break out, reaching new all-time highs, as per the high priest himself, Max Keiser. So here's the latest tweets in which he shared. And also, I appreciate all the love in the chat. Keep pumping the likes to help pump the stream. And let's moon, shall we? But here we go. Here's the latest from Max. He tweeted here, the only Bitcoin measure that matters, the only one that I track, just hit another new high in its 15-year bull market run. Now, I want to stop there and just discuss this. Now, he says we're in a 15-year bull market run. Why is that? Because if you zoom out on the charts, you can see it's a 15-year bull market run. The hash adjusted price for Bitcoin now is approximately $460,000 per coin. This was off the back 3 days ago, January 13th, when Bitcoin surpassed 532 exahashes per second. Let me correct myself. 532 quintillion exahashes per second, as per this chart, which is off the charts. Now, this morning, we reached yet another all-time high. So now the hash adjusted price may even be closer to 480,000, just FYI. But let's check out some other tweets I shared here. 460,000 Bitcoin, let's freaking go. I know Max retweeted it. It was blowing up, got over 25,000 views. And he shares here 22 hours ago. Look at the hash, not the price. The hash precedes the price. And look at that chart. Holy moly, it's just doing its thing. I think in 2024, 2025, it'll continue doing what it does best, reaching new all-time highs and becoming more and more secure, and it's already the most secure network in the world, family. Now, he also wrote here, this guy, who is actually the CEO of Vanguard, he said this guy delayed Bitcoin hitting 50,000 post-ETFs by 2 weeks, which ultimately means we would have hit 50,000. You know, we stopped short at around 49,000 and corrected. And that's due to a lot of the mainstream FUD, such as Vanguard saying, we don't believe in Bitcoin. It goes against our ethics and ethos, which is ultimately saying we don't believe in freedom and sovereignty and we want no part of it. But guess what? Want to know how shady these mofos are and why you can't trust them? They own roughly 8.6% of MicroStrategy. So they have indirect exposure to Bitcoin Vanguard. And I know this because the other day, it may have been on yesterday's podcast live, we went through all the primary shareholders of MicroStrategy. And guess who's at the top? Vanguard. You can't make the ish up. BlackRock is number 3, just FYI. Now, also, he tweeted here, number 1, the government seizes the ETF for national security, ultimately saying, I don't trust these Bitcoin ETFs and the collusion between the regulators and Wall Street. They have some sinister plans and tricks up their sleeve. He also says, number 2, before they send you your USD, which is how it works, you'll get the US dollar, if not the CBDC equivalent to the Bitcoin, while they keep your Bitcoin. Number 3, price moves up 100 Gs. Number 4, you pay tax on the gain from the payout with what is left. You buy Bitcoin at a price 100,000 higher. Number 5, price crashes. Number 6, you are now sitting at a net losing position from where you started. Ultimately saying, don't trust these mofos with your Bitcoin, not your keys, not your coins. He also says here, you are not protected against government seizure, and the US government plans to seize all the Bitcoin ETF Bitcoin in the interest of national security. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. I did a whole show specifically on that topic. Now, quoting him here, how he really feels about BlackRock. I transcribed this 42-second interview. I posted it, and here's what he says. BlackRock is terrible. They are one of the worst players on Wall Street. Yeah. Now, they're completely without morals whatsoever. Their business model is just repackaging stocks and selling them as ETFs. Their ETFs own more stocks than there are stocks, and they charge a fee for that and have incredible political influence they use to make it easier for them to game the system. They are really a plague on capitalism. Tell them, Max. And a really good clip here, I highly recommend you guys check out after the show. It just dissects the collusion and corruption going on with the world elites and what they have these tricks up their sleeves. Now, he also wrote here, this was back on December 3rd, so last month, the God candle, a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin is in play. It'll shift the global axis of wealth and power in a single tick. And these were the rumors surrounding Qatar. Quoting him again, 2 days later, I have one word for you, 100,000 Bitcoin God candle fans, Qatar. The rumors are getting very loud on this. Their sovereign wealth fund is rumored to be looking to buy $500 billion worth of BTC. You can see their president, or I guess Amir, who is ultimately the prince of their country, meeting up with Bukele over in El Salvador. And he also shared an update to add clarity. My source said, Bitcoin makes our $500 billion sovereign wealth fund effectively worthless. We should just convert all of it into Bitcoin. Now imagine if they actually did that. Holy moly, Bitcoin's market cap would virtually double overnight. However, it's probably impossible to buy that much Bitcoin, but that may be their goal. And when do you think they're likely to start buying, or have they already behind the scenes and haven't announced it? What are your thoughts, family? Another headline, Qatar's sovereign wealth fund dives into Bitcoin with potential $500 billion investment. And this was the story, Max talking about the God candle, etc. But what I want to dive into now is actually the latest interview from Max Keiser, which was just released a couple of days ago. The title from Wired Magazine is Why Crypto Ideologues Won't Touch Bitcoin ETFs and Why Purists Will Steer Clear. That's right, because we don't trust this stuff. Now, they actually interviewed Max, and I read that interview verbatim, word for word, so I'm just going to read you some of the highlights from this article. On January 10th, after the farcical false start, the US SEC approved the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETF in the country. The ETFs will be issued by a selection of the big name financial institutions, which we all know, BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, giving people a way to invest into Bitcoin through a brokerage as if it were a stock. The price of the ETF shares will follow the Bitcoin price. The arrival of the new ETFs have been broadly celebrated by Bitcoin investors who believe they will legitimize the asset in the eyes of wealthy institutional investors and make it easier for the lay people to invest, thereby broadening demand and driving up the price. The inconvenient catch is that the spot ETFs are at odds with practically everything Bitcoin is supposed to stand for. That's right. In the 2008 white paper, Bitcoin's anonymous inventor, Satoshi, outlined a vision for electronic cash that changes hands directly from person to person, peer to peer, under the control of no financial institution. It was two fingers to profit-hungry Wall Street. Yet the ETFs will be issued by some of the largest financial institutions in the States, nor do investors own or keep any of the actual Bitcoin. Preach. They're buying a representation, an IOU. ETF investors may stand to benefit from the financial upside, but will not attain all the benefits that Satoshi envisioned. That's right. The true ownership of Bitcoin entails direct possession. Keep that in mind. Remove your crypto off the exchanges. Now, there are some instances clearly where, for example, maybe you own 401k and you don't have the opportunity to invest directly into Bitcoin, the underlying asset, and self-custody it. So your only option may be to use an ETF. This would be an example where it may be worthy to purchase the ETF, but you got to understand you don't really own or hold the underlying asset. So in the weeks after the launch, hundreds of millions of dollars are expected to flood into the ETFs. I think on the first day or first 2 days, there was roughly $4.5 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the ETFs will have a mosquito effect, says Max Keiser, who advises the government of El Salvador on the Bitcoin policy, carrying the mind virus of Bitcoin far and wide. The attitude of crypto businesses, particularly those that support the ETFs with services, is that an increase in the profile and mainstream acceptance of crypto in whatever form will be beneficial to the long-term health of the industry after the long series of reputational setbacks. Quoting Marshall Beard, ETFs are just a form of distribution, says the chief strategy officer of Gemini, which we know is owned by the Winklevoss twins. And although investing in Bitcoin through an ETF is not functionally identical to storing one's own Bitcoin, he says, the new funds will cater to an underserved demographic for whom ease of access is the priority. It is not necessarily that one model is better than the other. It's just different. I'll reword that. Yes, self-custody is far superior to the other form because you actually own and control the asset, which is unconfiscatable. Self-custody is unconfiscatable. Want to know what's confiscatable? Bitcoin ETFs. They can basically, Biden can pen a letter to Coinbase and say, in the name of national security and protect the integrity of the dollar, we need to seize all the Bitcoin in the name of national security. See the Patriot Act. Anything is possible. So if you trust your government, then it shouldn't be a concern. If you distrust your government and you don't know what they're capable of and you don't want to find out, then self-custody is the clear solution, in JV's humble opinion. What do you guys think? A diversification of parties with the stake in the crypto industry need not compromise the objectives of the early adopters, says Brett Tape Hall, head investor service at Coinbase, another crypto exchange partnering with the ETF issuers. He says, I believe they will coexist in harmony with one another. And let's not forget, Coinbase is named the custodian for BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, and many of their. So Coinbase is going to be one of the largest hodlers of Bitcoin on the planet thanks to these ETFs. Now, there are potential practical implications of a split in the way people choose to interact with Bitcoin, though. One possible quirk, says Samson Mao, CEO of Bitcoin-centric technology firm Jan3, could be a divergence in the price of Bitcoin held by financial institutions and the Bitcoin that changes hands peer-to-peer. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Another thing I want to throw out there, I hope there's transparency with these Bitcoin ETFs and that there is some way that we can monitor how much Bitcoin, for example, Coinbase, wherever the custodian is, for the asset manager to make sure they're not selling more than what they're holding. Because we don't want what happens in futures markets and derivatives to happen to Bitcoin. Because in the precious metal markets, Max broke this down one time, having a lot of insights, 40 years as an insider in financial markets. He said, for every ounce of silver being traded, there's 40 ounces worth of fake silver derivatives being traded. This is how they manipulate the markets. This is why companies like JP Morgan Chase have been fined billions of dollars for spoofing precious metal markets to suppress the price. Do you think they'll do the same thing with Bitcoin? Let me know your honest thoughts. And do you honestly feel that the powers that be will eventually confiscate all the Bitcoin ETF BTC? Do you think this is the master plan? If so, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that's just a conspiracy theory, would never happen, put a 2. I want to know your feedback as we continue to pump. Respect the pump. 43,400, baby. Let's go. And pump the likes to help pump the stream. We greatly appreciate it. And now let's enter the dragon, or that's what Bruce Lee would say, our Q&A session for the day, family. Emilio, what it do? Appreciate you tuning in. JV explained the hash adjusted significance. It's ultimately an indicator when the hash rate continues doing its thing, reaching new all-time highs. The price is a lag to that. So the price is lagging the hash rate. So the Bitcoin price is lagging the hash rate. So when the hash rate soars, that means the Bitcoin price is likely to follow, but there is a lag. Very simple. Chris Mills, we appreciate the super family. 111. So you guys don't trust the government? I'm not alone. 1. Please recall the name of your wallet again, says one Tali. Emilio, I'll talk with Kathy and Mary with you on that. Romel, I know about the wallet from the research I've done. Mohammed, hello family. Cousins from Saudi just invested $10 billion to Bitcoin to start the rally to 75,000. Also ICP heading to 50. Shout out Mohammed. We appreciate you letting us know what your cousins are doing. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How reliable is the hash rate information? Does it mean the actual price will be there one day? 100%. Just note it's lagging and there's no definite date that we can predict when Bitcoin will hit 460,000, but you could bet your bottom dollar Bitcoin will hit 460,000. I think it has potential to happen this cycle, but if it's not this cycle, it's going to be the next cycle. My prediction for the cycle peak is going to be in 2025. I think it'll be somewhere personally between 222,000 per Bitcoin and 500,000 per Bitcoin. So JV's bearish scenario 222,000 this cycle. JV's bullish scenario, 500,000. We'll probably be somewhere in between. What are your thoughts, family? 1, government's obsessed with power and control. Bingo. Max predicted 280 in 2020. He's kind of a joke. Well, he's also made a lot of predictions that have come true because I've covered virtually all of them. So it is true. Max doesn't get every prediction right. He gets the dates wrong, same as Tim Draper and everyone else. No one has a crystal ball. It's just the way that it is. So take every prediction with a grain of salt. 250, try to take it from me. There you go, Vasquez. 50 G's, baby. 8,000, oh, hell no. That's not happening. Sorry, Captain. Is Bitcoin legal to buy if Muslim? It is. It's official. We covered that story maybe a week or two ago in the pod, and the official head guy of the Muslim community was speaking to his billions of Muslim brethren, and he said they have, I forget the terminology they used, but they said Bitcoin is permissible to use as a form of currency. It's not haram. It doesn't go against their moral or ethical code. So now we're anticipating Saudis, Qatar, all this Middle East money, you know what I mean, to start investing into Bitcoin. And I even read you some headlines. The largest oil company in Saudi Arabia is looking to do business in digital assets and just partnered with the largest Bank of Japan, SBI. So for whatever that's worth, family, you already know it's happening. It's halal. 1 million a coin in one day. Let's go. You mean haram? Everyone give JB a smash the like, subscribe. Shout out Digital Dankness. We appreciate that, broski. All your support, all your help with the stream and the community, the Discord. Love and light, fam. Most likely 8,000 candle, not 8 exactly, Frank. Thank you. I heard that. There were years they said it's old news. Yeah, it was actually a couple of years ago. So they said Bitcoin is permissible. Fatwa. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Fatwa. Never 200 ever. Yeah, sure. In my opinion, one bear case. Oh man, it's going so quick. I'm surprised I don't see many related comments on Larry Fink's most recent interview on Fox Business stating the Bitcoin being more powerful than the government. That was a top story we covered yesterday in the podcast, Sounds of Nature. So of course, I even shared it on X and it went viral. I had hundreds of retweets. So I've been covering it. I just don't want to repeat the same story today. JV, have you heard of Telejuino? It is a drink. I haven't heard of it. Is it good? I've been sipping on these kombuchas for Christ's sake every day. Are you a doomsday prepper? Doomsday prepper. I don't know how to answer that. Do I believe a doomsday is coming? Yeah. Am I a doomsday prepper? I guess you can say so. I stack Bitcoin. I would imagine that everyone stacking Bitcoin to some degree is a doomsday prepper. I just never heard the term, so I had to yeah, sure, I am one. Bitcoin's a pampin'. Let's go. 44,000, baby. If we get above 45, we'll do the pump watch this evening. Why not? An all-night, midnight stream. Why not? Does anyone here have a QF's account? What's QF stand for, family? No, just the prepper, says Jennifer. Saw a Bitcoin ATM on my local gas station. Where do you live, Nate? We have the ATMs all over Puerto Rico now. I go to the gas station. I always see the Bitcoin ATMs. Honestly, never seen anyone using them, but I'm seeing them popping up everywhere. Okay, good. Put one. Word. What's one for, fam? We have almost 900 people still on the stream. We appreciate all that, family. Stacking ammo and canned goods and sats, says Christy. You got hands like Rambo asking for Rocky. What's the cutoff? The purchases via what they'll take? Fiat, quantum financial systems. JV is the ultimate prepper. He moved to Puerto Rico. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Appreciate it, Bone Daddy. Haram, Arabic term meaning forbidden. Thank you. So yeah, Bitcoin is not haram for Muslims, which is good. It's permissible. I am more worried about paper Bitcoin than, you want to know what is haram, in my opinion? Fiat currency. It's a damn Ponzi. Means sort of the prepper too. First timer, Bitcoin ATMs. Appreciate you tuning in. First timer, JC Adams. Be sure to pump the like and subscribe to #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. I'm here every day, fam. We have a crypto ATM in our grocery store in South Carolina. That's so cool. Have you ever used it? And I'm curious, what are the fees? ETF for control by BlackRock? Yes, I think so. Bernard, appreciate the massive contribution here. Dear JV, my impression about Larry Fink's statement was he primarily cares about tokenization, not primarily about Bitcoin. Ethereum ETF, all the best. You're such a nice guy. Cheers, mate. Cheers, Bernard. I greatly appreciate that. And I do think they're coming for the Ethereum as well, because he has said it in the interviews. So they're looking to come for your Bitcoin and Ether. We know that's a given through the ETFs. And what they'll come for next, probably whatever the top tokens are. I think they want a piece of this crypto monopoly. What do you guys think? So I think whatever the top tokens are, there'll eventually be ETFs for it. And they're going to try to control it like they do real estate in the S&P 500. I live in Colorado. The way the ATM works, feed the machine cash and let it scan your wallet, get the Bitcoin. The premium was high though. Showed Bitcoin at 49,000. Nice. Dinner, JV, is it safe to drink or link Trezor to Exodus online wallet? I don't know about linking stuff, so I'm not going to say yes. You know what I mean? Be careful. I don't know. You maybe want to check with Trezor directly from the source, because I don't know. I've never linked a wallet to something else. I'm very skeptical about everything. I'm super skeptical. So no one is informed about the quantum financial system. Honestly, Romel, I'm not. If you want to inform me, I'll read your comments. I say bye, bye, bye. ETH ETF by May. XRP after that, in my opinion, says Shank, cheers, or Shaq. Today I looked at a resort on the east side of Puerto Rico. East side, where you at? What are your thoughts, family? No, haven't used it. Sure, the fees are through the roof. Yeah, my guess is the ATM Bitcoin fees are probably going to be like between 8 and 12%, because that's how they actually make money. Whoever bought the machine, because it's an investment. Maybe the machine cost them 10, 20,000. They got to make money through the fees. Bitcoin ATMs are in Colombia. That's what's up. Shout out Colombia. I lived in Medellin and El Poblado for 6 months. Definitely one of my favorite places on the planet. Hey, is Bitcoin not haram? Correct. I can't read that. I don't know what it says. Crypto utility providers within their ecosystem given owners rights to such asset ownership. Boom. You nailed it. Don't have Circle K's. In the Myrtle Beach area, 38,000 next stop for Bitcoin, or 45,000 is the next stop for Bitcoin. Yaboko, I don't know how to pronounce that, but is that the place you live, Yamil Cruz? ATM fees are 15. Oh my God, are they 15%? That's just rape. Would be massive if India stopped banning Bitcoin. Man, are you? Who's in India? Are you in India? I do have Ethereum, but wondering if it's worth considering if it's not capped. Man, it's that thing that makes you go, I capitulated a lot of my Ether a while back for Bitcoin. Most of the Ethereum I got was under $100. So great, one of my best investments for acquiring ETH. And I capitulated once they switched their protocol from proof of work to proof of stake, because I deemed it that was a strategic move by the regulators to potentially deem it an unregistered security. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But the thing that frightens me the most is you look on CoinMarketCap, and shout out ML Scott. Thanks for the sub. And you look at the max supply. It shows you the infinity sign. And no one has, in 7 years I've been doing this, no one has helped me understand the max supply of Ethereum. It's complicated. They just throw math at me and I don't understand how to calculate it. There's like burning and this. So to me, it's complicated. If I don't understand it, you know what I mean? It's just, if I don't understand it, I don't want to be a huge investor in it. Maybe keep a small, tiny bit of my portfolio in it just in case. But nonetheless, at least with Bitcoin, we know it's a true store of value and that it has a finite limited supply of 21 million. So just for those reasons alone, I'm 100% more confident on the only truly decentralized crypto there is, which is Bitcoin. But that may just be me. I could be wrong. Who knows? But I don't understand the max supply of Ethereum, and so therefore I don't trust it. And also I don't trust the creators behind it. I don't trust the fact they do business with the World Economic Forum. And there's just there's too many red flags. Too many for me to sleep good at night. JB, one of your mods is deleting everything I post for no reason. For real? Is it? Yeah, I have no clue. We only have a handful of mods. I don't see why they would do that. JV, I'm thinking about buying a third Bitcoin, but that would be 35% of my portfolio. Is that crazy? No. I don't know what my portfolio is, but if I was to just throw a random number out there, it might be 99%. I don't know, because I lost it all a long time ago in a boating accident. But you know what I mean? So 35% is kind of bearish on Bitcoin if you're to ask me. When I see in the 90s, I'm like, okay, this guy's a Bitcoin bull. That's just me. Some people are the opposite. Some people are 100% altcoin, 0 Bitcoin. To each their own. I don't judge. It's, you know what I mean? I wish everyone success, and I truly believe as Bitcoin rises, everyone in crypto is going to win. Like, we're all winners. We're already winning because a rising tide rises all ships. So when the market cap goes from where we at today, 1.7 trillion to $10 trillion, all of you winners, all of you. As long as not your entire portfolio is in a meme-ish coin and you're just trying to hit the lotto and get a 10,000% or X gain, you're probably going to win. There's no guarantee in that. Most cryptos will probably go to 0, but at least short term, when we moon boy, game on. Like, everything's going to soar. Everyone in crypto is going to be a winner. Why do I say that? Because I was here for the last bull run, and virtually every single crypto was a winner in the top. Even the scam tokens were temporarily winners before crashing to 0. So the key, if you're an ish coiner, eventually you need to trade that ish coin for Bitcoin. Don't get too greedy and think it's going to go up forever, because many of these coins will not. They'll get rugged, you'll get wrecked, and that's just the way it is. Damn, JB, you lost yours in a boating accident? Yeah, I can't even remember. It may have been global warming, ski accident, boating accident, kung fu accident. Man, I'm very accident prone nowadays. Let me ask you something. If everything collapsed, the banking exchanges, where's the best place to store your crypto? Right here. Can you remember 12 to 24 words? Hypothetically, if I had Bitcoin, I lost it all in a boating accident. There you go, Emilio. 90% says Joey. Love it. A true Bitcoiner. This is not bingo. Hold some ways to. That's a myth that Bitcoin is too expensive. Precisely because you can buy any percentage of a Bitcoin. You can buy $5 worth right now. And we're pumping. 44's incoming, family. I told you. Everyone's preaching doom and gloom. I would be about 99% Bitcoin if I didn't lose it in a rocket accident. Man. Yeah, I gave it to one of those billionaires who claims they went to the moon and it got lost on the moon. I was trying to explain about the halal stuff, detail 3x, no links or anything. It could just be the bot. We have a moderator bot, which is Streamlabs, and sometimes it's just like has a mind of its own. So don't take that personal. I'm sure as hell not blocking or censoring anything you're saying. I don't think our mods are either. So it might just be a mix up with the bot. Maybe a little too sensitive with the settings. Maybe I got to fix. I don't know. Let that sink in. There's 1.8 million Muslims, a billion in the world, who follow religiously what the top cleric of the Saudi Arabia commands. That is the catalyst for the Keiser candle. Well said, Sounds of Nature. Appreciate those insights. Tangent Wallet says May 5-star. Loch Ness Monster. Leviathan. I remember reading about Leviathan in the Bible a long time ago. Leviathan snatched it. Yep. Just ate it. Gone. Lost my wallet in a submarine implosion. Damn. Well, I am not banning anything. Yeah, don't blame. We're not blaming dankness. I think it's the bot has a mind of its own, 100%. My portfolio is about 70% Bitcoin and 30% ETH, and that's just cause ETH has been outperforming lately. All good, family. Good to note, Nate. Always hated myself for selling 150 Bitcoin when it traded at 10 cents. What? Are you for real? Vasquez? Holy moly. 10 cents? What year is this? This the first year? I don't know anyone who got started that early. That's incredible. Bitcoin is halal. Should be fine. Just close the stream and restart. I have to do that about 4 times a stream. You for real, Jennifer? What? The Saudi company is called Amoco. There you go. I always pronounce it wrong, so I deter from saying it. Because everyone corrects me. Last time I did a show on the topic, one of my good friends, JLD, top podcaster in the world, by the way. He's like, JV, he was just listening to your pod. He lives out here in Puerto Rico. Actually, the reason I originally moved here, just a cool dude. He's the host of Entrepreneur on Fire, one of the top podcasts in the world. And he left me a message. I was like, yo, what up, JLD? And he's like, dude, your podcast is incredible. I can't believe you're doing a daily podcast. Kudos to you, man. Not many people can do that. But he's like, JV, I got to tell you, you're pronouncing that name of that Saudi company wrong. It's like this. I still have the message like on my phone, but I still butcher it up. So it's like, damn it. Armaco, something like that. But yeah, shout out JLD. I like staking Cosmos and converting the earnings to Bitcoin. Hey, JV, we pumping. Pump it up. Let's go. You already know. Now I'm lit. I use Tangent Wallet and I work in information security. What does that tell you? That it's a good wallet is what it tells me, Steve-O. Thank you, family. Armco. I think I'm getting it right now. I think I got it right now. Thank you, One Tally. Armco. There we go. JV, we love you even if hooked on phonics. Appreciate it, Christy. Hooked on phonics. Classic. Hooked on Chronics, more like it. Pamp it up, Aramco. There we go. Does that sound good now? Does it sound legit? I can start mentioning the company. Aramco. Thank you. Haramco. That's just wrong right there, family. We pumping. Send that mofo to 44, shall we? How come the Ledger devices have no two-factor authenticator? Good question for Ledger, if that's true. Does BlackRock have to purchase and hold Bitcoin? They supposed to, but who knows? I hope they're held accountable for transparency and that we can see in real time how much Bitcoin they're actually holding to hold them accountable, to avoid that shenanigans of overselling what they have. But who knows? It's a good question. Pump, not dump, no grumpy. Hooked on BTC. Now we're talking. Oh man, Amaco, how are you supposed to pronounce it? Aramco. 2009 sold for 15,000. Wait, what'd you sell it? So you got started in 2009 and you sold how, like, clarify, how much Bitcoin did you sell for 15,000? That's crazy. If you sold at that, 10 cents a Bitcoin, that's just crazy. You're the best, JV. Thank you, Maystar. Where's that gas at, though? Are we talking about the Ethereum gas fees, or what are we referring to? Hooked on Chronics. Only the best. I use Tangem too, says Drew Webb, so good wallet. I wish I could voice post. Me too, Tony. Shiba Inu's going up. Good. If SHIB's going up, Bitcoin's going up. That's how it works. If Bitcoin's dumping, not much is going on in the alts. You know what I mean? But when Bitcoin's pumping, count your blessings, because all the alts are virtually going to pump. As it means liquidity is entering the market, typically. Encrypted 8 megabyte on chain from Satoshi. 1 Satoshi equals 1 Bitcoin if centralized. Aramco, stress the RAM. Aramco. Should I say RAM instead of ROM? I don't know why I say ROM. Aramco. There we go. Emilio, my man, with the matching super to match the hat. Thank you. I don't understand the fear. We went from 15 to 44 in a blink of a financial eye. What investment does that? Yes, some alts, but can you cash out? Good point, Emilio. Because we know trading pair on every exchange, Bitcoin, USD, you can't say the same for every alt. And good point. Like, people are so quick to forget what we have done in Bitcoin in the past year. Like what you just said, family, 15,000 to 44 is pretty epic. Yet people are still looking at the glass half empty. It's just perspective. It's the way we're programmed. I think the news, the media, we're always in fear. So we always think the worst case scenario. So you got this glass and most people will perceive it, oh, it's half empty. Why isn't Bitcoin at $1 million? You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the glass has been half full the entire time. It's all perspective. Zoom out when in doubt, big dogs. 1.68% a day is not too shabby in the green overall. Preach. Dear JV, token translated can also mean mark, which reminds me of the critical lines of the book of the Revelations, chapter 13. You think the chapter relates to the blockchain tech? Well, I would have to reread it with that new insight. Thank you for the thoughts, Bernard. Jack's coin, please drop. Gotta buy more. My brother had 100 Bitcoin and got all but 8 taken in from Mt. Gox. Oh, whew. That's rough. That's rough. Did they get any recovered? Will Sailor stock to Bitcoin conversions affect the price? Since he announced dumping MicroStrategy stock every day for the next 4 months, Bitcoin has been dumping some. Keep that in mind. I don't know if there's a correlation or if there's other things. The cleric of Saudi Arabia declared Bitcoin is halal. This means that the Sunni Muslims can buy Bitcoin. Not sure about Shia and other minority Muslim sects. Good to note, Adam. Thank you. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom out. See the big picture. Yes. Yearly return as they average on Bitcoin, 150% per year. Yeah. Where else are you going to get better returns? I just found out the last hour of trading Bitcoin ETFs, traders short them for almost 35 last minutes every day. For real? Traders are hilarious. You can't buy or sell anything unless you have the sign of the beast, says Bone Daddy. Can the big institutionals manipulate the halving stage? No, because it's by the block and it's estimated to be in roughly 90 days, 90 to 100 days. So it's going to occur sometime in April. They can't change that. When in doubt, zoom out. Sometimes it's a matter of age and needing pumps to progress faster. You know what I mean? I know what you mean. Yeah, you can't buy or sell anything unless you have the sign. I only cashed out 20,000, but glad I did that much. Just found out the last hour. Shia, thank you. No disrespect. Shia Muslims. Thank you, family. I'm learning. 401 company BAT. Bitcoin is not the mark of the beast. The government version of Bitcoin that is coming is the mark of the beast. Good point. And there's many versions of the mark of the beast. I truly believe that. CBDC will be one version. That poisonous jab is another version. So you don't want that. 401k company matched the biddies. Shia. There we go. Shia law. Thank you, JB 2020. Another Billy just came into Bitcoin from the Saudis. Let's go, Mohammed. Cheers, brother. Expect the unexpected. Precisely. But anyways, family, I've been streaming for an hour 40. If it was up to me, I'd just hang out on YouTube until my phone dies and it gets dark here. But we still have to do the uncensored version of the show exclusively on Rumble. So head on over to Rumble right now. If you don't know, I stream live simultaneously on both platforms each and every day, 7 days a week. We're live on YouTube and Rumble right now. The YouTube stream is about to end and we will continue with the uncensored version of the show exclusively on Rumble. So head on over to Rumble and let's get this party started, shall we? I appreciate all the support, fam. I'll be back on the tube at 9 p.m. Eastern this evening for the premiere of today's live with the edited version. I'll be hanging out with you guys in the chat. But in the meantime, head on over to Rumble and let's get this party started.